Let's do this. Ugh. Trash to Cash podcast. I don't know what episode it is. We're back. We're back from vacation. I sat through a
148.
torturous meeting just
324.
now, and so my brain is kind of melted. I absorbed none of that. Whatever you guys were blathering on about for 40 minutes, not a single word went into my brain. So you'll have
Don't
to
worry about it.
text me the
GPS
highlights if you
reports,
can. Yeah.
stuff like that.
Eventually we'll get to the point where ChatGPT can like listen in on a meeting and then just give me 2 sentences. Be like, yo. Or maybe some
That's how they
bullets.
get you,
I
though,
can do
dude.
that for you, Dave.
The
I'll be your
robots start by
ChatGPT.
being useful, and they end by murdering you. I believe
No,
every movie I've ever seen.
This was the thing with like work too. At the end of every meeting, I was like, that could have been a 1 paragraph email. Almost every time. Like every meeting I'm ever in.
We don't
It's
have the
not as
camaraderie of a group meeting.
You should have been. You should have been a teacher, Dave. Holy
yeah?
moly, you would have been. Oh, these faculty meetings, and then there was always some teacher that would get up and ask like 7 questions after an hour and a half. I'm like, dude, just shut up. Just let me get out of here,
Just
please. I would leave.
send us a newsletter. For the
I would
love
go
of
to
all
the
things.
beginning of the meeting, and then I would like after 5 minutes, I'd go to the bathroom and then just sneak out the back door, and I'd go home. I'm like,
You had
I'm
to
outta here.
do like 20 to 30 Zen breaks probably per meeting anyway.
Back then, it wasn't Zen; it was a real stuff, man.
It was crack.
Yeah, exactly. He was doing street legal meth.
1 second, I've got an echo fixing it.
Yeah, a little echo, man.
Test,
It's
test,
been a
test.
while,
Okay, it's better.
y'all. It's been a while.
Yeah, hi. How's it
Hey,
going?
what's up? How are you guys? Anything happened in the like last 3 months?
I haven't spoken to Dave since I saw him.
Yeah,
I know.
saw
Dave told me
you.
he hasn't talked to you, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
man?
I told Carrie, I said I'm avoiding Kevin because I just want to see how long he can go without calling me. It was a test. It was a friendship test. He
It
lost.
was a friendship
He
test
never
that
called.
Kevin
Literally
really
never
failed.
called.
I didn't want you to criticize the meeting we had and be like, I didn't listen to anything you just said. You just wanted to call.
Yeah, exactly.
I was trying to be nice, Dave. You're supposed to turn off, unplug. I didn't want to bother you.
Oh, I did. It's weird. I'm struggling to get back into the connected world, actually. Like, I still haven't even reinstalled the YouTube Studio. I've had it uninstalled for a month now. Like, I just don't even. And
Would you like
don't
me
even
to give you an update?
Well, yeah. How am I doing?
How do you? I was surprised you're like not checking on the cooking channel.
No, I check on my laptop every now and then.
Oh, okay.
So like, once every day or two, I'll check my channel. It's really, guys, can I implore you, if you have a YouTube channel, to just consider something like that? Because it is quite freeing. You understand, like, it's like you have like an evil, employer in your pocket when you got that YouTube Studio app installed. And every time you look, he's like just telling you did a bad job.
They have us trained to see if we're getting an extra. Kevin's waiting. Kevin's got like some sort of spyware where he knows where he's mentioned on anywhere on the internet, whether it's Reddit or OnlyFans or wherever.
Actually
he knows.
Consume reselling content. I love it. I like it.
But it's our disturbing need to be liked, so we're just constantly checking. Do they like me? Do these people like me? Am I loved yet?
Yeah,
and the answer is no.
Good enough.
I consumed it before I was ever on the internet.
No, I'm talking about the YouTube Studio app. I'm talking about the YouTube Studio.
That might be.
The constantly going in and checking, or your Instagram, constantly going in and checking the likes and how many people hearted it and stuff like that.
No, I don't care about the hard side. All I care about is the negative comments. I like to read those.
Yeah,
those are good. I've got a lot of those lately.
But it's been very, very freeing. And at camping,
and I apologize, man, but somebody had to tell you how it was, Kevin, and I'm going to do it in a public forum.
During camping, I actually turned off the phone, like no text messages, no video, no photos, nothing.
How'd your kids do with that?
They got their phones back every night at 10 p.m. And that's when they would like catch up with their buddies and stuff. But they actually did pretty good. They didn't really complain. They just kind of, we just spent time together. It was weird.
Did you have heightened senses? Did you start to smell things again? Did you start to see different colors? Like, were you starting to run around the riverbank and just
naked?
Dude, how garbage is like being a kid today? Honestly, like I mean, 100%. It sucks. I feel bad.
Nobody goes outside and plays.
Yeah,
drives
and
my kids to the yard.
My kids did. I
used to get cans
camping.
of soda, and we had a cul-de-sac, and I would just slam them on the edge of the cul-de-sac, and then they would start squirting all the drink, and then we would get it all over ourselves, and then we'd drink it, and we thought we were cool.
It took my kids like 3 days to figure out how to be kids without technology. It was like 3 days, and then finally they're like, "Oh, you know what? It's kind of fun to just walk around the campsite and get lost in the woods, and go play Foursquare or whatever.
Mhm.
Have
Howdy.
you guys?
Sorry.
They figured it
Is it
out. They
part of
figured it out
culture?
eventually.
Is it part of culture over there? Have you guys heard of snipes and snipe hunting, or is that a Utah thing?
Yeah.
I've never
You
heard
guys
of
know
it.
what snipes are?
No.
Yeah. Did John Cincinnati Picker try to pull that on some unsuspecting people? Do some snipe hunting at the 127? Didn't work.
See that? So that's good. Yeah,
Is
I
that
wanted
from the
to.
movie Parent Trap?
I don't know
Huh?
what it's
The
from, but like when I was 12, they had us go out at night at like a scout camp looking for snipes, which I guess were a fictitious bug. And we didn't find any because they're not real. And that was the
No,
joke.
it's from
And
Up.
then I
It's
was
from the
sitting
movie Up.
and I was sitting in my tent that night, and they were making fun of me in the tent next to me. And I remember it to this day. I'll never forgive them.
It's older than the movie Up.
Well, I remember in the show Doug, they had to go find some creature that didn't exist. Remember that?
We used to do that as a coach. I used to find the nicest, sweetest kid that would do anything for anybody. He just wanted to please people. And I would send him, I would say, hey, go get the keys to the batter's box. And they'd run over to the next coach and they'd ask them. And that coach would send them to somebody else to get the keys to the batter's box. And they'd just keep sending them around until he came back to me. It was pretty funny.
A nematode. That's what Doug had to find, was a nematode. Some of you will
What was
get
it?
that
What was the name of the
reference.
band in that? The
Pat
the
Benatar.
Tomatoes?
Oh, the Beats.
No, the Beats.
The Herald,
yeah, it
the
was some
Herald
sort of
Tornado.
fruit.
Did you see I found a cooking channel called The Hungry Tomato? I think it's Josh.
It's
I think
Josh's
his secret
fourth
faceless channel. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
anyway,
good.
so I should go to the Patreon
Did
too.
you? How did you shut your eBay store completely down, right, Dave? Like
I turned
or
it
did you?
completely down for like 3 days, and then
And
I
then
turned
turn
it
it
back
back
on
on?
because I was going for too long. They have a
Yeah,
limit.
yeah, 15-day.
Yeah, and it was, my eBay sales are through the crapper. It's interesting to see what happens when you do nothing in the realm of reselling. The main takeaway is you make a lot less money, and your bank account
eBay.
shrinks.
Yeah.
eBay. Somebody should make this merch though. eBay is a fickle lover. You have to
Yeah.
constantly pay attention to that.
But no, that's not fickle, really. That's not fickle. That's just like a needy lover. It's a needy
Yeah,
lover.
it
It
is.
But
needs
you
your
can
attention
cheat.
constantly.
Constant attention for it. I
But you can
can't say anything
cheat on that lover, and they don't leave you. You can still come back. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Like you cheat
Yeah,
with
you could do
Whatnot.
shop.
Dib
You
Dit
always
and
feel dirty and filthy when you sell
Mhm.
something on Shop Commons. That's what I've
one-stop
learned
shop.
so far. I feel terrible.
Listen, guys, I just want to re-implore you. If you want to sell lots, bulk lots, dibdit.com, dibdit.net.com, we allow it. We allow it. Not only do we allow it, but message me and I'll lower your fees a little from whatever you're getting on
A
Commons.
little bit of a
No,
lowering.
you
We
won't.
will reduce fees without telling Kevin.
Somebody sold a
There's only
$600
Dibdit. The only
lot.
reason Dibdit exists now is to crush Shop Commons. That's the
Exactly.
only reason.
Also, Shop ADH Dave is coming soon, and it's all for bulk items.
Go for it. I challenge you.
Well, I'm partnering with Death Pile Picker. With your
Then in
God.
that
Your
case,
God
watch
is joining
out.
me.
Watch out.
Yeah, watch out, man. You're rodless yet again.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I did source finally for the first time in forever. I did a little sourcing
Saturday.
before I left, but yeah, I went Saturday, and I remember why I chose to do this, guys. It is not really sourceable weather here, and people like say a lot of crap in the comments, like, "Oh, it's not even that hot." Like, they don't live in Florida. The people saying this do not live in Florida
They
because
live in
it is
Minnesota.
disgusting. Yeah, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
summer's not that hot. We have 87-degree heat index." I'm telling you. If I had brought 3 shirts, I would have been able to change 3 shirts from pit stains and wet chest sweat. Like
Well,
that's how aggressive it was.
I was
on
driving
Saturday.
home from South Carolina on Saturday, and it was hot as and humid as all get out. I was hoping to hit sales on the way home from the beach on Friday and on Saturday, and it was so hot, and it had rained so much there were no sales. I saw one sale until I got to Virginia, and I saw one more at 4:00, and I stopped at it, and I was dying at that one at 4:00. It was pretty stinking hot. I hated it, but my store's been dead too, Dave, until today. Today is the first full official day it's been back on in 14 days. And I sold 12 things today.
Well, okay, first, Carrie, why don't the Cleveland Browns play at the North Pole?
Why would they play at the North Pole?
Because every time they get close to the goal line, they'd freeze.
They're
Oh
better than
my
they used to
gosh.
be, but they're still not very good. But you're
ChatGPT.
disrespecting
ChatGPT.
Bernie Kosar and Ernest
Yeah,
Biner
that's
right now.
right.
You should take it
Yeah,
back.
and you don't even. I'm surprised you knew whose hat that was. I'm impressed.
I did.
Yeah,
That's
that
why I
is
asked
actually impressive.
ChatGPT for a joke because I was proud that I knew the logo. So I was like, maybe if I did a
It's an
joke, people
easy
will
one.
think
Like
I'm a
the
real
logo.
man.
This is. I love a logo where it's just the helmet because there
Yeah,
is no.
and the
Well,
helmet
they
has
have the
nothing on it.
brownie, which is the elf, which I could have
Yeah.
got a hat of. But
Yeah.
I was in Cleveland, so I decided
That
to
was
get a hat.
one of my very first retail arbitrage items. I was actually in Ohio, and I was at some like funky discount shop, and they had hats. I mean, it was just like that, Carrie. It was just a Cleveland Browns helmet, and they were $4 a piece, and they were all brand new, unbranded, and whatever. And I bought 100 of them, like 120 of them, and I was selling them for like $12 plus shipping, and I
Where were
sold
you
them off
selling
for
them? Like
years.
personal
eBay.
ads on the newspaper? Oh, this was. I thought it was
Bonanza.
This is 22 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, it was pre-Bonanza.
eBay.
23
I
years
think you
ago.
just like if you knew how to use a computer, you were rich on eBay back then because you could just
Yeah.
post anything for any amount of money, and people would just start sending cashier's checks and checks that would bounce, and you just hope
Chip
you got
that
one that
looks
didn't
like
bounce, right?
Doritos potato chip that looks like Monica Lewinsky, $999. Yes.
Yeah,
That was
very
good. But
topical, dude. Yeah, the Y2K bug plush.
Yeah, exactly.
L'Oreal microdermabrasion, I was selling those like hotcakes back then. I sold hundreds of them.
Really?
That
Where'd
was
you
back
steal
when
them
you
from?
Walmart.
See, you never
I mean,
Oh,
used
you
them.
stole them from Walmart. Nice.
sold
well, I
them,
was
though.
getting them for two. They were down to $2.50 a piece, and they would put new ones out every day at $2.50, and I go buy them all. And I put more out. I buy them all. Sold hundreds of them
So
for like $19.
I want
Do you know
to
how many?
know
Do you know how many
about.
people went and needed that for a reasonable price, and they had to go
And
look
they
on
could
eBay because
find
you
it on my
sold them?
eBay.
You know that
If you were
the
the
main
original
reason
J-Ride Flips, just
the main
buying out
reason
retail
I don't
establishments.
want to live in a big city like New York or San Diego or San Francisco is because the Walgreens and the grocery stores lock up all their like razors and microderms and
Oh, that's like my
deodorant.
biggest
Literally,
pet
the
peeve.
Then you gotta
in
deodorant is
wait.
Vegas.
locked up, and then you gotta
Everything is
wait.
locked up. It's so annoying.
Vegas,
And
yeah, any
like
sort of
nobody's
big city with a
around.
lot of crime. Here, that's not a thing. Like you just walk up, you buy it.
I went and got one of these today for Turner because he lost the little thing you put into your computer.
Yeah,
And
dongle.
it's $8.88, and it was locked up.
Where at Best Buy?
Walmart.
Yeah, but
Okay,
like,
Walmart. I don't know.
And then you
Walmart is
can't
just
find
video
his
games
all the
and
employee.
stuff.
electronics locked up in like
It's
Vegas.
crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of places actually. We went cross country, and a lot of places, the electronics especially.
Who's gonna
It's
steal
really
this?
bad when it's like the shampoo. That's when it's really bad.
That's when it's the deodorant. It's literally the deodorant.
Take a huff, just take a quick huff. And you have to wait for them and do it in front of them.
This was when we went to New York City. That was the only interesting that happened on that trip. Was the deodorant was locked up. That was
Here's
the
the
only
tip, though.
interesting
I will
thing.
give a New York tip. You should always pack an extra pair of underwear.
I agree.
Always, at least
I
one
agree,
for
yes.
wiping.
Is this an inside joke?
This is an inside joke for any Patreon who listens to
Patreon or member.
deeply
The
disturbing
greatest-
true
the greatest-
stories
You
over
may
on the
think you've heard the
Patreon.
greatest story ever told, but you have not. You have
Carrie
not.
Until
told
you
me I
watch-
needed to watch the secret
It was-
episode.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
it
have
It was
to
like
watch
my
this one.
favorite
That's what
Dave
it is.
story ever. I'm not even joking.
It was
And
good
we're
fun.
charging for
It
it.
was
And we are
everything
charging
you
for
would
it.
expect. It was like Dave. You know how like Pokemon, you like level up from Charizard to
Super
Charizard
Saiyan and
to, like,
Dragon Ball, basically.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
like your Super
Yeah.
Saiyan form. Like that is
Yeah.
every Dave thing we've ever heard and joked about in one moment, culminating. The good thing is I don't think you'll top it, so you'll probably not have as many embarrassing things as you
That
get
was
older.
my peak.
Dave,
yeah,
but
that was
you'll
my
be
peak.
happy to know, Dave, that I got sick of hearing it at the 127. I was so hoping Dave would be here. I really wanted to come see. J-Ride
Absence
was
makes
like
the
in
heart grow
tears.
fonder. You know
J-Ride's
how it
like,
is.
I only really came to this for Dave, and now he's not here. But
That's
we
fair.
learned a lot from each other. And, yeah.
That's good. Well,
I did
that's what I
enjoy-
wanted to ask you about. I wanted to ask you how that all went.
I went better than I thought.
Okay.
Better than I thought. For me, it did anyways. The last experience at 127 down there in Crossville was not as good as the one before, with the exception of the vintage find. And I thought, I don't know, this is kind of a gamble up here. But if I would have known kind of the setup before I got there, I think I'd have done even better. But I did really, really good I found a lot of gold and silver. I found
Well,
like
we asked you to predict what your best find would be in the last episode,
and
remember?
I didn't. Yeah, I do. I remember something else from last episode.
What did you predict? I don't remember what either of
I
you
didn't predict
predicted.
anything because I was not raising my expectations. I was keeping
Okay.
them down here so I'd be happy. You know, kind of like a
Yeah.
Buddhist does. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
keep them expectations low. So
I think Carrie copped out and said cards or something too. So I don't think
Yeah.
any of you really.
I did have one good card score. You saw it. You saw me there for like 2 hours at that one yard sale. Everybody popped by just to see Carrie in the groove.
Wow.
Well,
there was that.
Took a picture.
I also heard that they did this like marketing stunt where they intentionally gave you the 1-of-1 card at the card show, Carrie, because of publicity. Is that true? Yeah, it was a plant.
That's what I've been told, that it was.
That's what the comments are saying.
That was so. You guys don't understand how improbable that was that I got that. There are people doing YouTube videos where they buy 400 packs and they don't get anything as good. I got one, the only one I've ever opened in my life.
It's like Carrie Wonka. Carrie Wonka.
And who was the sports
star? It literally
star?
was. Huh?
Yeah. Who was the sports star?
Caitlin Clark, 1-of-1.
And what game is that?
It's basketball. So like it's the college gold 1-of-1.
I thought that wasn't very popular.
It is because of
WNBA.
She is the most popular sports person maybe in the world right now.
Could she beat the current superstar Shaquille O'Neal?
Well, he's not a current superstar. He's
not playing anymore.
Years old.
Oh, okay.
What you don't understand, Dave, what you don't get is the other. So this one was a college uniform 1-of-1, and there was the pro uniform 1-of-1 from those packs.
Okay.
Ungraded, sold for $7,700 on eBay.
Okay.
Mine got graded. I just found out 2 days ago. It's a PSA 10, and it's going on golden. So I don't know how much money it's going to go for, but you guys can track it. It'll be live.
That just means that
August
he can pay.
Auction.
Okay, so the August. So are those? Where are they run on, Carrie? Where do they
run
on?
Golden.com. Golden.
Is that like a heritage auctions kind of thing?
Yep.
Like a scam type website like that?
No. I mean, it's
allegedly.
an auction house, bro.
I would just say, for all the doubters out there, I saw the raw footage before it got turned into a reel, a short, or whatever. And let me tell you, if it was set up, these two didn't know it was set up. I can tell you that. Him and Dawn. It was like there was like
it's
words
just so
being
improbable.
said.
Yeah, we walked up straight to this place. There was a line. We waited in line. The lady who was just they have to open up because you buy a box and then you get, based on which box you get 1 or 2 or 3 free national packs. And she opened up my box and gave me 1 pack, but she gave me the second one. She flipped them and gave me the one on the bottom. And then I got it. And she was very nonchalant about it. And then I'm like, I'm so excited. I wanted to open it. So I opened it, thankfully, there.
Not the one on the bottom of the stack.
For a video.
Second one down.
Yeah.
So she had instructions from on high, right? Just keep that one.
Hold that one for American arbitrage.
Yeah, American arbitrage.
The hot guy. When the hot guy shows up.
Yeah, when the hot bearded gentleman, mildly homeless looking,
with no gray in his beard at all.
Not a bit of gray. No, and then I opened it and I couldn't even comprehend at first what was happening. It was funny because the raw footage, and I think I did an edited version in the video, the YouTube video, like Dawn's like, you only got 2 cards, you got ripped off.
That's what's so funny because he opened it and there was more cards. He's like, aren't you gonna look at the rest? And Carrie's like, we don't need to.
It doesn't matter.
Nothing
it doesn't matter if it was like $1,000 bill. It doesn't matter.
Listen, so what is awesome, your approach then? Seems to be like, measured expectations. Like, this is easily $500 to $7,500, but there's that little brain worm in the back of your head that's like, what if it's $15,000?
I mean, if the raw version that doesn't look as good sold on eBay and not Golden's a better spot for high end cards, and it sold for 77. I mean, I think it could go above 12K,
but you also have to be careful.
I don't know.
You have to be careful not to get your hopes too high.
I'm trying to figure out, like, what if I can, maybe I'll just buy. I got to do something when I get that money. I got to do something Kevin would do. I've got to get like a Porsche that he tells nobody about and drives around.
i8 BMW i8.
No, my
an i8. Yes, dude. An i8. No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the body of an i8, but I'm gonna put it over a Honda Accord.
Can someone please, someone who has a decent sized YouTube channel, please rename their channel i8 Reseller and just tag Rockstar in every video? You'd be like, I was the first i8 reseller.
I don't even feel like an i8's that good of a car though. Like
I don't know.
It's like you're bragging about like a Lexus, but it's not 1999 anymore. So like it's not really has the prestige.
Or no,
right?
what was the better one would be the Acura. You know, that's
you need a cyber truck right now so that if you like drive over a puddle, it short circuits and you go out of control or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a couple of those in the wild, and I'm not impressed with how they look. They look better in
Vegas.
pictures.
There's a lot of cyber douches driving those around right now.
Cyber douches. When is the date for this, Carrie? When does this go? I want to follow it with you.
I think it starts Tuesday, August 13th.
And how many?
So you can go on Golden and see how it does. I mean, I imagine it's going to go up to a couple thousand right away and then sit for weeks because it's like a 3-week process.
And you want Kevin to shill bid how much on it?
No, nobody do that. No, but it's going to be fun. I think it'll be interesting.
I'll bid a couple thousand. I'd take it for that. I'd make.
There was people, man, when I opened that too, and I was showing people because I have it in the video. I'm shaking, and I'm trying to put it in a case, and they gave me a free case because I was freaking out. And the guy next to me, this old dude, like 70, 90. 100, Kevin's age, he's just like, you want to sell that, young boy? It's probably worth a couple bucks. He didn't say it like that, but that's the vibe I got from him.
So, like, how much did you ask him to give you an offer?
No,
you should have asked him for an offer.
No, I don't even care. Like, I want to know what it sells for myself. Even if it was a bust and I didn't get what I thought I'd get, I want to be the one to get it. Because
I want to understand something because, and this isn't me judging you as a person, but you seem like the kind of person that would not have the energy or motivation to send something in to be graded. So was there some sort of grading shortcut at the event? Like, how did you get it graded so quickly?
First off, I don't really appreciate how spot on
seriously.
You are about that.
Well, come on. For 10 grand, you just sent that dumb thing in. Don't give me that.
So I went to PSA first, the grading company, and then
did they have like a booth?
Yeah, they would do one day grading and everything, but it was too late in the show. So I would have had to wait. So then my thought in my head, having been in the card community a while, is I know Golden does it for you. So I took it to Golden and they just deduct whatever it costs.
They were also at the show?
Yeah, they were physically there. So it was the perfect timing. I walked up to Golden. The people from the TV show were there.
Yeah.
I walked up and they were immediately.
The setup
he looked at it.
More elaborate.
This dude is the best salesman ever, by the way. Like, he looked at the card and he just told me what he was going to do with it. He didn't even like ask. He's like, we're going to put this in the August. And he's like New Yorker. So like I feel like I have to listen. And he's like, we're going to put this in the August auction. Here's what we're paying you. And I was like, okay.
Here's what we're paying you. But
for me, that's like, I just need somebody to tell me what to do and I'll do it.
At the same time, though, I feel like, based on Carrie's past performance, like, you might have signed a contract that gives them 95% of the proceeds. Or did you read through it? Did you read through the contract?
He told me verbally what the contract was, and I have it on film, but I didn't read through every detail. I usually do, but I trusted him.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do that. I have a big, giant following. I don't think they would do that.
So now you have an answer for everybody's questions that they ask all the time. What is the most expensive thing you've ever resold? And it will be this.
This is going to be and it was a wild story because that's the first time I've been to that show. That's the first time I opened one of those. And it was kind of a magical, and it should be like exactly what I need to move, which is kind of serendipity. So we were gonna save for that, but now we're gonna save for it and have that on top.
I hope it sells for 30, bro. That'd be sick.
Dude.
So wait a minute. All right,
I am gonna get an i8. I guarantee.
You just buy a house.
I don't know what they're worth. They're probably $1 million based on what I'm hearing.
4,000. It's actually, they don't sell them for dollars. They sell them for remotes. So it's quantity of remotes. So 40,000 remotes for one i8.
70 pallets of remotes.
I think if it goes for 30, we should rent Emilio Estevez for the next Trash to Cash meetup.
Love it.
Do you think Goldberg will actually take my request on
probably
what
not.
was that
cameo? Cameo. We just want him to say paulsmerch.com. Is it that much work?
We tried to pay him. How much was it? Like $40 or something? Way too low. Yeah. He's like, I don't understand what this is. I'm not doing it.
I don't understand what Paul's Merch. He probably went to paulsmerch.com and it's not even a website. And he's like, wait, what?
And you didn't even get Gary V to say paulsmerch.com.
Wait, paulsmerch.com. I think it takes you to his Facebook page. Yeah, it takes him to just a random Facebook page.
Everything about I love Paul and Paul's merch, but everything about it is so cool. It's like it's a .com that takes you to a Facebook that's advertising an eBay page, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
What Paul's
Yeah,
merch
but
.com is.
he's updated it so now like when you go there, the first thing you see is our video singing the
Oh
jingle.
yeah, I love it. See, I feel like
Really?
he gave
Yeah.
him
Oh,
the
that's
golden
hilarious.
ticket where he could
Yeah.
like he's gonna have a hard time keeping 77
We
items
should
in stock. at this
probably
point.
get royalties, right? Wouldn't you think
I know.
we deserve some
We've been
royalties
gone for
Dave.
like 6 weeks, all of us. So I will get new videos out next week. By the way, guys,
Dave,
if you're
Yeah,
after Carrie was at the National Card Convention, is that what it's called? National Card Convention.
Card.
After that, he comes down to 127, and he was up every single morning at the crack of dawn to go out and yard sale with us every single morning.
I woke up doing calisthenics. I was doing push-ups, and then Kevin would wake up, look at me, and be like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm like, "I'm doing what I need to do to be the best picker there is." Period.
And he'd stay up late with us. I mean, he was a machine. Carrie was on fire.
How many people
during
were
the
in
National?
your?
I was
how many
up to
people
like
were
2 in the morning editing and getting up early too.
Yeah.
I was up the whole time.
How many
Everybody
people
was
were in the
singing
Airbnb?
It depends on what night.
Okay.
I think the most we had was 11, and the
Okay,
least
and how
we
many-
had was 9.
How many in your bed, Kev?
In my bed, none.
Not even you. Whose bed were you in?
None. I was on the
Your bed.
couch. I slept in bed the first 2 nights. I shared a room with John Cincinnati Picker was there for 2 nights, and then when he left, Mike came in, or I think that's right, and J Ride came in, and I just gave them 2 the beds because Mike couldn't fit on this couch that was perfect size for me, so I just took the couch.
And then once J Ride got there, we'd just sit around and just listen to J Ride brag about how much money he was making on TikTok for 3 to 4 hours every night.
And is he making more than you, Carrie? Is he making more
What?
than you? Is he making more than you? You gotta. This is the reason you sometimes can't hear me is because you don't have the headphones.
You better not be. You better not be.
I will say though, I will say this about J Ride. I went out yard selling with him and Rod one day, and he was buying everything. I'm like, holy cow! He'd like buy. I'm like, what the heck, dude? I'm like, you gotta fly home, brother.
What did he do with it all?
He had baseball bats at the end, and he's all like, I can't fit these anywhere. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to sell them to Kevin or something.
He did sell them to me. That was awesome. Thank you, J Ride. And he left a Black & Decker, one of those. Oh, I don't know what it was. One of the. Yeah, he left that there, and nobody took it. I didn't know it was there, J Ride. You should have told me how to take it home. But it's worth like decent money. But he works hard. Everybody, Tim worked his butt off there. I felt like this was the first time I was so far ahead of everything that I had to do very little. Dave, you know about this. So I wanted to be able to relax and talk to people. And then everybody's working so hard, and I'm like, man, they're gonna think I don't work.
Yeah,
dude, it was weird not having my Rod there, which is Dave. Like, because me and Don are so used to Dave driving everywhere.
Yeah,
like, Dave is
who drove you around?
Rod sale guru. We went with Rod for a day.
Oh, so instead of me, your Rod, you took my Rod.
I took your Rod, and then Tim was like a Rod as well. Tim's funny. Tim is the funniest man I know. Period.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Tim haggled for $1 parking and got it for 50 cents. The guy didn't even question it. It makes you wonder what's possible. Like when I hang out with him, I start.
Yeah, but that's the hot guy discount. That's the hot guy discount. We can't qualify. We're not going to get that.
He's got the beard thing, but it looks like he's doing it on purpose. Me, it looks like I don't care.
Me and Carrie is just like, these guys are lazy. Look at the neck growth.
He did a drive-through yard sale.
He drove through the yard sale?
Yeah, he drove through and was talking to a guy out the window, and he bought something from not even getting out of his car.
Yeah, he needs to double down on his content because he's funny, man.
Today and he's knowledgeable.
Today Tina calls me. She's like, Dave, I'm right down the road because she was like out walking. She's like, I'm right down the road at a yard sale. And it's weird because like it's inside and stuff. You should come. And I'm like, it's like so hot, Tina. I don't want to walk. It was like 8 houses down. I was like, I don't want to walk. It's too freaking hot. But she's like, no, I really think you might find some stuff. They just told me everything in the house is for sale. I was like, all right, fine. So I put on my little backpack, like I'm going to go to school. And I walk. And of course, I'm drenched in sweat 8 houses later. It's just August is horrible. I go in there and the guy and the wife are just fighting. He's like, I don't give an F. I don't give an F. I don't know what you want from me. I'm so sick of this. I'm leaving. And he just like throws something on the ground and storms out. And I'm just like,
dude, that means you're getting deals, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
she's like,
then we start asking,
then we start asking like, no, that's not for sale. That's not for sale. That's not for sale. Like it was like we walked into their house, but it wasn't really like we weren't really allowed to be in there. We just were in there, like home invading during a fight. And then I just left, and I was like, "I'm gonna leave, Tina." And she's like, "Yeah, me too." Really weird. So yeah, I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if I can use that footage. I'll certainly try, but we'll see.
Just use
Nah,
it.
sure.
Make them
Clickbait.
into. Yeah, Kevin has no shame. You shouldn't either.
The thing
What are
that
you
frustrates
talking
me about
about?
these 100-mile yard sales, and I guess I'm finally agreeing with Kevin 2 years later,
Yeah.
is every time I release one of these videos, people always say in the comments, "Oh, I've already seen this. You already released it. You're accidentally re-released." And I know I'm not. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They just saw Rod's perspective or
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's perspective, or definitely not
Mike's.
Carrie's. Yeah, definitely not
Yeah, we
Carrie's,
had.
but
I'm scared to
Mike's
do
perspective.
Steve's golf club haul because there was like 17 cameras on Steve
Well, yeah,
negotiating.
the first
Back of the
day
truck.
we were there, we all kind of caravanned, right? John was only there for a day, and he ended up being there for, we did one day with him. And so, nobody wanted to miss out going with Cincinnati Picker and whatever. So we all kind of caravanned that day. Every other day we went our separate ways. And so it was neat to get everybody on film and everybody on camera and stuff like that. But after that, you really can't do that all the time because just exactly what you said. And
Yeah.
so Carrie, that's why I don't.
I don't want.
I
I
have
also don't
Carrie
want
on
to
a
give away
few
my
things.
secrets. There's a lot of things I
Well,
know that there's no way you guys are capable of learning,
I
and I
like
want to
doing it
keep
with
those a
Carrie
secret.
because I know Carrie's not really ever going to edit the footage. He's not going to put out the video, so I don't have to stress about it. So it's actually really good to do it with Carrie. But
I've
it's
been
harder with
organizing my
Rod.
footage. I'll
It's
have
to
a
the
video
point
out in like
now.
3 to 4 months.
It's to the point now where with Rod, like every time it's footage with Rod, someone's already seen it because he's fast, and I'm like 4 months behind him. So it's like, oh yeah, I already saw this. I'm like, you didn't see this perspective.
When I was and I did go out one day specifically with Rod and Mike, but I had gone out with Mike down here on the 21 for a day too. So I'm even when I'm out with those guys, I try to you can keep the videos separate, even though they're right there.
Yeah.
But I never went with Tim. So whenever I saw Tim buying something, I would always go over to Tim because he's really, really good at what he does. And
Kevin is the king of content farming. Like if he sees anybody with anything interesting, he will walk up to you and steal your find for his views.
Oh, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Know.
Like he's like, "Oh, what'd you find there, buddy?" And then he puts on his accent,
it's
which he didn't
education.
have the whole day.
Why do people? No, please. Why do people watch the content? They watch it because they want to see cool finds and they want to learn. I learn from all you guys. I do it all the time. I did it look, I just sold glass. I sold $100 piece of glass and $150 piece of glass today. I would have never done any of that if I wouldn't have gone out with Tim.
That is honestly the real best part about like going in groups. I always talk to Don about this. It's just like we all know different stuff, or we're at least interested in different stuff.
Yeah.
And we
and
all
you can teach people too. I mean, MCM stuff with Dawn, and it's just different. Gold and like all these pickers there, right?
Dave, after Dawn was hanging out with Dave, Dave was an MCM daddy for like 3 months. It's worn off. He was a full-blown MCM daddy.
No, it hasn't. I bought a lot of MCM, not recently. Right before I left.
You know what MCM stands for, by the way, Dave?
Micro management. Mid-century modern.
Micro machines.
I had a guy I used to work with. His name was Mike Crow. You know what I got yesterday at yard sales? It was really pretty weak, all in all. And part of that was because
back into it.
I think, and I also think it's just one of those things right now. There's a reason I'm not sourcing in summer. It's not as good. There was 14 sales in the nearby 3 towns. And normally I would find over 26, 27, 30, in that zone. And so every sale was kind of far away from each other.
And it's back to school too. Kids, parents, they want to wait a little bit. It's gonna be ramping up. What would you say? September really starts.
Yeah, no, I think Labor Day. Labor Day is when it starts to kick off. And so basically I did do okay. So I went to one sale. Actually, I think I got 70 Left Behind books for $50. It's not like the greatest deal, but it's okay.
You sell them in
lots,
a piece. Good.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think I can. 2 lots, I'll get my $50 back. What?
That's something around.
It's a mix. It's a mix. It's a mix of hardbacks and softbacks. I didn't even look at them all because they're all in 9. Or what are they called? Those number 7s. They're all the number 7s, and so I don't know. I'll have to look through them and just do.
I've been selling books lately. I've been buying books lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big book buyer, but it's eclectic. I'm loving
and then
it.
Kevin will like it. I got a Rainbow E-Series free, just completely free.
Nice,
just
dude.
roll up. I'm like, how much is vacuum?
You know where
like,
you can store that for the next 4 years? Your storage
in my container. Well, I sold my other one. I literally sold this exact model. I wonder how much. Last month I sold it. This exact model. I think it was $100 or something.
I was proud. Nobody bought. Everybody after I've talked about purple ab rollers forever. Nobody bought a purple ab roller, and I got one. It was late in the day, and everybody had left it behind down there. And I convinced Rod to buy some Nordic Track skis. So I was happy.
Is there anybody? I know that they sold millions, but is there anybody who ever used an ab roller? I feel like that's something you buy and you just leave, never use.
No. I bought it. 100. I sold it for 134. The other Rainbow. So I assume I'll be able to get around that for this one too.
Man, it was free. At least that should be 150
it's the
to 175.
It's not as
dude.
Not
if
as
they're
good
in good shape, they should still go for 150, 175. If they got everything with them,
too cheap. Yeah, with the everything. They were hard. It was kind of hard to ship, but I figured it out. It sucks. He said a joke.
Just sell the hose.
Yeah. Oh, Carrie sells hose. Hoses for vacuums.
Okay.
Vacuum hoses.
I got a cool find idea sold. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1995 duffel bag. Sold to a viewer. My boy Stones.
Well, we assumed your sales are to viewers, Kevin.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's generally expected. We actually got a Trash to Cash Patreon comment about that from Anti-Zero. Not a question, just an observation. It seems like the lifespan of a reseller moves more and more towards a certain rock star. It seems like Kevin is moving very close to that end at this point.
Really?
Yeah. So
he's like a dying
calling
star.
You out. You're
he's
the
like
next
a dying
star,
and he's going to grab onto anything that's going to make him money on the way down.
I will say Kevin is becoming more and more like
this hurts my feelings.
Well, you become more and more topical, like eBay news, like every flipper video.
3 years.
You're leaning more
folksy
into
and whimsical, like it's wearing on people. They don't like it.
Yeah.
You don't even watch my videos. You look at that thumbnails and titles.
I don't even look at the thumbnails and titles. Let's not give me credit.
Every video has what sold. So
I would say
when Rockstar starts doing what sold videos,
look,
then maybe
I'll give you this. Rockstar is the only person who puts less effort into their thumbnail than you. The only person I know.
Oh, I don't know. I put no thumbnail into today. It's just literally me. Just a screenshot. I'm Philly Flipper in it at this point.
It's always like an emoji and then like a up or down arrow. And then somebody's angry at something about somebody.
And he's always got that like nipple showing, that little.
He's always got,
you talking about me?
My
thumbnails, I got effort. What are you talking about?
That's is an emoji and an arrow really
thumbnail
effort?
Today was good.
I feel like we're hurting your feelings. You're doing good. I'm just playing.
That comment hurt my feelings. That hurt my feelings.
You know, maybe you should reevaluate your life.
No, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Dude, are you? Is it too late to get back into teaching? You're still young.
Yeah, you could probably be a teacher. That's an idea.
Oh my god!
Have you ever thought of doing IRL streaming on Twitch? Strap a camera to your chest mount, live stream the garage selling trips to the swap meets while engaging with the chat in real time. Clip those streams and make YouTube videos from that.
Oof, sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work that doesn't feel like it's going to pay anytime soon either.
Kevin wouldn't have the internet connection for it. So Kevin is out of the game.
Around here, easily. I picked this sale down the road on the way home at 4 something, and I had no signal whatsoever. Yeah. And they were packing up, so I just bought and bought and bought. I still haven't looked this stuff up yet.
There
going
is a guy
back. Oh, go ahead.
On Instagram, I think it's mostly Instagram, Wine Country Resell or something, that's doing the Ray-Ban thing. And you can always see the top brim of their hat in the video, and his stuff's blowing up. And I think you can only get like a minute of footage.
Not very
on
good,
those.
is it?
Huh?
The video quality on that's not very good.
It's not great, but it's good enough. People are watching it.
Where's he doing it?
I don't know. His name's Wine County or Wine Country Reseller or something. Resales. I don't know. But all his videos are doing really well.
Wow.
Saying, like there is like, I would say that would be similar to like, I think there's a need for people going live doing garage sales, but I don't know if it's going to pay for the people doing it. And it's a lot of work to edit and all that.
So Mike Metco left a comment. He's a what do you call him? Subscriber member to the thing. So we got to shout out Mike Metco. He was at the 127. He says,
did you see him though?
Yeah, he was also in Crossville. He was in Crossville.
I went on.
You guys weren't in Crossville. You weren't in Crossville.
We were in the Crossville area generally.
No. Did you watch any of that? Any of that content? Like, can you give me any
I
sort of
watched
info on
a
it?
little.
How did it go?
I think he went live one time. I went. I checked him out on there, and I saw Mike and said hi to Mike and those guys.
Okay.
So I didn't see anything else. We were too busy.
Okay. All right. So can we thank our Patreons that are subscribed at the Wealthy as a Kevin tier or higher? Carrie, you
I
owe us
think that's
motivational
exactly what we
videos.
should do.
You owe us motivational videos. So I want you
I
to think
will.
about that next time you're in the bath.
He was supposed to
And
do
bath
that
required.
in the
Well, can I just-
bathroom and wake people up and like
Yeah.
come into the shower.
You were
and
supposed to
stuff.
get a bunch of people from the Airbnb to do it. I'm assuming you
Did
didn't.
not happen. No.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, thank you, Gem Flipper, Who Ate My Chips, Buffing the Stuff, Craig
Is that the
McLaughlin,
name?
Biggs
Who ate my
Collectibles.
chips?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Alexandria Pickers, Jake Ryder, CJ Benz Finds, The Flipper Skipper, Lady Arbitrage,
I know her.
Twin Peaks Restaurant Staff, No Nose
Oh.
Pickers, Brian Sampor
really?
Beal, Harry Tornado,
Dude, I
Harry
love Twin
Tornado,
my favorite
Superhero
restaurants.
Headquarters, Mike Camparelli, Vintage Sports Flips, PaulsMerch.com, ABC Matt, Racehack Resell, and Logan Murky. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. And welcome to all the new members.
The estate of Logan Murky.
Yes. A lot of new members joining
specifically
to hear the secret podcast, which the rumors are they are better than this. That is actually the current rumor.
Imagine,
take it or leave it.
Imagine like we don't have the charisma sucker that is below us taking away all of the joy. Yeah. And it's just the joy
forcing me into zoning out like every 2 minutes.
Doesn't the charisma sucker have the highest secret video episode views?
I don't know. I've never looked at them. I don't care.
I don't know.
About
we don't count. It's not about views on the secret episodes. That's exactly the problem.
Kevin, I literally
it's about
just
the vibe, dude.
Just looked at my picker video from Friday for the first time since Friday.
Wow.
That's where I'm at with YouTube statistics. Mm-hmm. I don't even look. I'm doing it for the people, not for the views. I don't listen. If people want to kind of come to my space and experience life with me, then I'm all for it. Right? I'm like a hippie kind of in that sense.
Look,
like
dude,
just come
it's all
as you are.
Gravy in here, man.
It's all fine. And if they don't want to come, if I got a 10 out of 10, I don't even freaking know. I don't even know.
Taking another puff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I don't even know.
I'm proud of myself. I actually watched a few movies that weren't made before 1983.
Oh yeah,
on my trip.
You went and saw Borderlands?
And no, but I was coming home from
Long
South
Legs?
Carolina, and I decided to put the Trash to Cash podcast on.
I'm sorry.
And you guys made a reference to a movie in there, and during the recording, I had no idea what you're talking about, but I watched it when I was down there. The motorcycle biker movie thing.
Oh yeah.
Carrie was talking about some dude not bringing a knife to a or gun to a
the knife fight.
Yeah, I had no idea what he's talking about, and then I watched that
the movie, and you're like, wow, they really spoiled that.
It was your era.
It kept my attention. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it was good. It was like a 6.5 out of 10. It was.
I give it like a 7.2 out of 10, Dave.
Well, I went to the movies today and I saw Harold and the Purple Crayon, and I give it like a 5 out of 10. It was fine.
Do you know the Dandelion Crayon sales?
You were really looking for a movie if you went to Harold, because I heard that was.
So like no. I actually would much rather see Cuckoo and Trap. And there's one other one I'd rather see, but I wanted Callie to go with me, and she's 10.
There you go. Yeah.
So I was looking for something appropriate for a 10-year-old. What were you saying, Kevin?
Do you know the Dandelion Crayon sells on eBay for decent money?
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that. And it also fits well into your nose.
Did you know
when I was a kid, I used to constantly put it up there.
If you believe?
Yeah, if you believe. So I was telling Carrie, I called Carrie last night because I was kind of falling asleep on my drive home. But I had this like Dave hyper-focus moment where I'm like, oh, this is the greatest idea ever.
Are you going to tell the whole story of what happened at the park, or are we going to skip a lot of it?
There's not that much that happened. Okay. Are you talking about the poop thing? If you want the poop stuff, you got to go to the secret podcast. That's where the poop stuff is. No, actually, I was pretty good. I didn't really have to poop the whole time at the park yesterday.
So I'm also we're playing.
Wait, I didn't finish my story, Grandpa. I know you get all old.
Go ahead.
Listen, no, I'll make it very fast. I was headed over there just simply to record a quick video about food at the park. And then I ended up getting sucked into a like super exclusive late night event that went all the way to 2 a.m. And all the rides were just walk-ons, no lines. There was actually cups of pineapple for free. All the food was free, and pineapples were included, as well as watermelons. I'm not sure what you're referencing, but I'm above board, and it was just standard pineapple. And it was really cool. But I didn't bring my family, and I felt very guilty. But I wasn't planning on doing that event, and so today I was showing Callie the footage. She's like, "Why didn't you bring me?" I was like, "I invited you." She's like, yeah, but I didn't want to drive an hour and a half, which is a valid point. But Carrie kept me alive. I called him and he
Yeah,
kept
you're
me
like,
alive because I was
how
so
are you
tired.
awake at this hour? You call because it was like midnight your time.
It
I'm
was
like,
like
dude, I
12,
wake up at
15, yeah.
noon. That's how I'm awake at
Yeah.
midnight. I
Well,
don't
and
get up.
I woke up at 5. Yeah, I woke up for
Yeah,
at
that's right.
5 for yard sales, and I'm driving home at
I
midnight,
didn't
just
do
like,
yard sales because I have more footage than I'm going to need for the next 2 years on my GoPro. So.
Yeah, but what if there's some sort of cataclysmic event and you can't go to yard sales? Don't you want to be like Kevin and have 2 years worth like in the can?
I wish.
Well, I mean,
That's
yeah, I
you.
mean, like I'm going to start doing 2 videos a week on my main channel, and we'll talk next week about how I probably didn't do either. So hopefully I'll do it. That's the goal. I have enough footage to
Well,
last me for a couple weeks at least. So.
I stopped doing 3 videos a week on my Flipper channel, and I don't know if I'm going back. I don't know if I'm going back
You're
to
going
3,
full
Kev.
keto daddy.
No,
on
it's not even
Flipper.
that. It's just if the revenue is the same and I'm doing less work, I can just pull all the orders in 2 videos that are slightly longer.
Well, but
Like, I
then you
don't.
have so much more time to resell, and then you'll be reselling so much more that you'll need to have
I'll
3
get more
videos.
sales and I'll need to have a 3rd video. Yeah, that's
That's
valid.
right. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah,
because
it's a vicious circle.
I used to do 5
Yeah.
videos a week, and I'd have like 8, 9 sales on a video, and now I'm doing 3 videos a week, but I'm having 15, 20 sales on a video. So it's
I was
like
supposed to. I mean, I think this is a common reseller struggle. Anyone who works for themselves struggle. The post vacation
I'm
lack
doing
of
it
motivation.
right now.
I did nothing today. I woke up and I said, I need to make a Flipper video. I need to pull orders. I need to ship orders. I need to edit this footage. I need to do that. And I did nothing. I literally
It's Sunday,
did no
Dave.
work.
I didn't do
It is
anything.
Sunday. I did a day of rest.
And I
I
also
should
built
always do
in
that
2
probably.
days. Like I don't have to ship
Like
till
every day.
Tuesday. I was
Carrie
14 days off.
That's like
Carrie
every day. I'm like, I need to do
That's-
all that, but then I watch the complete series of Parker Lewis Can't Lose. You know what I mean? And
I've
he
gotten
can't
back into
lose.
Dexter.
He
I've gotten
can't
back into
lose.
Dexter.
I can guarantee you that. There's no way the kid
It's
can
on
lose.
Netflix. I don't even know that show. What is that? A
You don't know
sport show?
Parker Lewis Can't Lose?
No.
I don't either.
I know Parker is
somebody
Danny's son
explain to
name.
them what a beautiful,
Hi, Danny's son,
beautiful show
Parker.
that is.
Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
It's like
Let me
Saved by the
see.
Bell if it was cooler.
Oh, cool. 1990. I've never even heard
It's
of
like
that.
when Kevin
That's
was in it.
interesting.
Kevin probably was.
Dude, is this
Parker
one of
Lewis.
those Mandela effects? Because this wasn't a show last
This
week.
was a
This
show,
never
dude.
existed. No,
Dude,
it was
Parker
like
Lewis couldn't lose,
no.
bro.
No, it was Hey Dude. Hey Dude is what
Dude,
we were
it's
watching.
the same vibe. Like it's like
Yeah,
like he
all
would like open
ranchy.
a refrigerator and like talk to it inside it. It was very cutting
I have
edge.
never seen that. What channel was it on?
I don't know, one of them.
You know,
Carrie.
the main character died.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
He's alive.
yeah, he's alive.
I
Carrie,
can't.
What were we
this
gonna say to Carrie?
comment so I can end this stupid conversation. Johnny Shags 2 said Kevin's trade up challenge. You remember the trade up challenge you talked about? One Werther's original to a life alert system and a mobility scooter. That's the challenge.
That is a good challenge. I love it, man. I feel like you'd be so cheap it'd take a while to get there, but I think you could do it.
The quirky picker Chad said, "Have you ever been scammed by someone, either for reselling or in your personal life?" Yes, I have.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I've told this story or not. Probably haven't. I don't think I have. I was going to Vegas for a trade show with my job, and there was this guy who worked with me, and he was saying, "Hey, if you're going to see any shows," because Tina was going with me. She was going to like stay in the hotel while I did the trade show. It's a couple years back. And he was basically like, "Yeah, I've got a buddy who does all sorts of travel stuff, and he can get you great deals on tickets if you want to see any shows or anything like that." And I usually like to see a show, but this was one of those situations where the Country Music Awards, the CMAs, were going on in the hotel I was in, the MGM Grand. And I was like, "Can you get tickets to that?" And he's like, yeah. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's $200 a piece." And like, that was a great deal. They were like starting at 400 at that point. And I was like, "Oh, sweet." And so his buddy got me tickets, sent me a screenshot of the tickets. And then when I get to Vegas and go to the meetup spot, he never shows. And they, I don't know if his buddy who worked with me was in on it on purpose, but it sure seemed like it. I never got my money. I gave him $400, never got a penny. We ended up having to go to the box office to buy the tickets because I had already promised Tina we were going, and I wanted to. And I think we ended up spending $900 on 2 tickets instead of $400, which I had already spent and never got back. So it ended up being like $1,300. So that was my scam.
Good man.
Kevin gets scammed by those people who call all the time, the toll-free numbers to the old people. They're calling Kevin, and he's like, "I need to buy a gift card for Apple." They've got my bank account.
Harry Tornado promised me I'd be a prince in Ireland or something, so I paid some money. I never got.
And you don't actually own any land.
Allegedly.
No, you went over there. You went over there and you tried to build a house.
Stake my claim
and
of
they were
that
like,
piece
no.
of land.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of a Shake Shack, which I didn't even know they had Shake Shacks.
Do you get some rights to that?
I got
Harry
scammed
Tornado's
with
a
bubble
pretty
wrap one time.
Oh, how'd that happen? Oh yeah, we all did, Kevin. Thanks for that, Mr. Supply Hut.
Whatever happened
we all
to
got scammed from
whatever
bubble
happened
wrap.
to FJ Treasures, you know, because they got all big. They got like super big from the bubble wrap gate that, you know.
He's still there.
Is he still making videos? Or does is he like stuck in the bubble wrap algorithm? Like
he's in the bubble wrap. Yeah, he only does bubble wrap videos like he's just rubbing it on his face. Like, this is a soft one. No, not really. He still gets decent views. Actually, he did a video with a storage unit, 1,500 views. He did 2,500 views on the one before. Yeah, he still gets a decent amount of views. So yeah, I haven't been watching him. I haven't been watching anybody on YouTube except for non-reselling stuff. But that's not normal. I'm a big reselling content fan, Kevin, as you know.
Yeah, I am. I watched the whole way up from South Carolina. Podcast after podcast. I watch Mike.
I listen to some podcasts.
Multiple podcasts.
What's the tier though? What's your go-to? And like, who's the last one if you just don't have anything else to do that you're listening?
I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who's your favorite reseller content creator?
You try to do.
It's us, right?
I can't tell you because I can just go in my history and see the last one I watched. That's not me. A lot of Hamilton clips, a lot of cooking videos, like an aggressive amount of cooking videos, hurricane stuff from the Debbie hurricane, a lot of gymnastics.
Speaking of, I was at the beach for a week, and I think the total beach time was like 2.5 hours. Because it rained.
I found it, Kevin.
Time.
Reseller leftover takeover with American Arbitrage and over the years. That's the last thing I watched reseller related. Now, here's the thing.
Episode.
Kevin's kind of like, you're not being very detailed. I just want you to understand what Kevin's saying. So Hurricane Debbie literally sat outside of his vacation spot for 4 days, just chilling, just smoking some of Mike's cigarettes. It was crazy.
It was 5.5 days.
Yeah. It was just sitting where he was. Yeah, in Myrtle Beach. Was it Myrtle Beach or something, right?
In North Myrtle, yeah.
And so I was up in Connecticut, and I'm trying to figure out how to get home because it was also timed like right with my trip home. I ended up delaying a day, and then not only did I delay a day, I had to go all the way to Charlotte and then all the way to Atlanta, which is like 8 hours out of the way just to stay away from this thing, and then come back up 75 and I-10 to get into Florida to avoid it. But it was just sitting there flooding Savannah and Myrtle Beach and all those areas. And I call Mike. I'm talking to him on the road. I'm like, yeah, where's Kevin? He's like, oh, yeah, he's on vacation at Myrtle Beach. And I just started cracking up.
Yeah. It was Friday before I touched my toes to the sand. And I got there on Saturday. I drove back or Sunday. I drove back from the 127, Dave. Drove all the way back here. And then I filmed a video. And I shipped those items, and then I drove immediately. It was like 2 hours here, and then I drove immediately down there, and then I drove back and got back yesterday.
Did you have something fun to do?
Well, Twin Peaks.
You went to Twin Peaks on lingerie day or normal day?
To go to Twin Peaks.
Lingerie day kind of sketches me out. You got
bringing like a record to the beach and putting on some Kenny Loggins and then just beach volleyball.
I mean, you can even go to like the outlets because it was raining. We finally cleared up a little bit. And we went to a little place to eat out, and it was just once we were in there, it was so loud. It was raining so hard. I mean, it was ridiculous. We went to the Sad Mall because it was inside.
And this is where you went and saw movies. This is why you went and saw movies. You saw the biker
we just watched
one.
Movies in the house.
What else did you see though, other than the biker movie?
Oh man, we watched the stupid Seinfeld thing about the cereal. That was the dumbest thing I've ever watched in my life.
Oh yeah, the Unfrosted. No, the reviews are terrible.
Really bad. And I love Pop-Tarts. I was waiting for a Pop-Tart centered movie.
I was too. It was actually a big deal to me.
I mean, they were giving me what I wanted until they started talking. I'm like, what the heck am I watching?
Pop-Tarts, you get the right ones. I was in Walmart and Jay Wright told me that some kind of Pop-Tart, grape or something, is you get them grape ones, you can resell them. I don't know if I'm telling secrets right here. And so he's looking in Walmart for like grape Pop-Tarts.
You gotta sell Pop-Tarts from Walmart. Sale, you should just get a real job at that point because that's weird. That's like too far. That's a bridge too far.
I think I probably shouldn't have said that, Jay Wright. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got far enough back to see my next reselling video. Harry Tornado, this video idea might get me in trouble. So after that podcast,
so
I
he
watched Josh.
clickbaited you so hard.
Then
that you
I
actually
watched. Then I well, to be fair, Josh, I watched 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So it didn't hold me very long.
It wasn't.
Then
it
Money
wasn't
Hungry
compelling.
Picker. Have you ever seen Money Hungry Picker? Have you heard of him?
No.
This video I watched of his has 243,000 views.
Wow.
Over on Money Hungry Picker.
Is that Kevin's
He's got
second
4,000
channel?
subs. I'd never heard of him. I watched him. It was a pretty decent video. It was about him getting scammed 7,200 by an eBay buyer. So I don't know. Kevin will check it out. Kevin will now be competing with him for the eternity of time. He's like, oh, this guy, I'm gonna kick his butt.
He's got my general vibe.
Wait, then I have this is not a good segment, but then I have about 40 different ads for the Mazda 626 throughout the 80s and 90s. Do you remember the jingle for that, Carrie? The 626. No. I just went on a binge and I was rewatching them all. It was 626. Passion for the road. You don't remember that? Like every East Coast every song back then, every like little ad song was like a ballad. It was like a rock song. Like passion for the road.
Just imagine if you were listing on eBay instead of watching that. Where you'd be.
Well, that's true. Then a bunch of theme park and a bunch of cooking, and then Captain Phillips nipples. Because I always am blown away by how long Tom Hanks' nipples were in that movie.
Let's do your browser history. Do your browser history now.
Oh, Kayla. Kayla is the next one. Homeschooling Picker is the next one. Kevin, I still haven't come to one of yours, buddy.
We saw her and Matt. Me and Tim did.
Oh, nice. You talked to her?
No. But I walked by. I walked into it was a church sale because it was raining like every morning in Kentucky. And we walked in, and I walked by, and I'm like, this dude, and he kind of had like a grayer beard than because I've hung out with him once, like 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm like, is that Matt? And I thought he was talking to like some lady that was
big
working.
Dude.
Just glanced. And then I turned around, and it was Kayla and him. And then Tim walked up and said hi, and I don't think he recognized him. Which Tim, to be fair, is not a very recognizable person. Not distinct in any way.
The fly fishing vest he had on. Tim's got the fly fishing vest.
Everybody thinks he's a fisherman. It's just honestly the most brilliant picking jacket ever, is what it is. He's got everything. He's got a loop. He's got a switchblade in case negotiations go south. He's got everything.
That reminded me, what you wear can help you. John Cincinnati Picker had his Topps baseball shirt on. Topps baseball.
You had a tube top on, and you were getting deals left and right.
Yeah,
were you wearing a tank top?
No.
I saw a big jacked guy.
You remember AC Slater and Saved by the Bell? He had like the neon see-through tank top.
The leotard pants.
Thing. That's what he was wearing.
I think I was in New York City and I saw this big jacked guy wearing a tank top, but like the tank top was, I think maybe they wear these at the gyms. Like, I feel like it should be covering his nipples, but the nipples were just out there, but it was like in and the nipples were out. Yeah. So that was interesting.
That's what I
reselling.
Do. I like people to go like, hold on. I like that look at people's
eBay.
eye that you see, and they're like, why are you wearing that? That's the look I'm go for. Like, why are you doing that to everybody?
I came home to like 45 orders, Kev, and I shipped all those out. And now, since then, I've got another like.
And you were gone for how long?
3 weeks. Okay. It was pretty long.
That's about the same pace, because I don't remember. I think I had 22. I was gone for 5 days and came home to 22. And then I was gone again for another 6 days, and I came home to 31. So it's, I thought there'd be all viewer sales. That's usually what happened. Not all, but a lot. And there weren't. There were very few viewer sales while I was gone. Usually the viewers won't.
Will you be giving the viewers a talking to then? Like maybe a little yelling?
Why aren't you guys supporting Kevin's family anymore? Stop
it. It's very upsetting. Oh, God.
Stop it. First you stopped giving him a coffee. Poor guy can't even drink coffee anymore.
Although I found this little metal sign and it said, "Be aware of cat, be aware of the cat." But then when I listed it, I put "Beware of the cat." I'm thinking I'm going to get a return on this because it says "Be aware." Who says "Be aware of the cat"? It should say "Beware." You want to
be aware of it.
Isn't "beware" and "be aware" the same thing though? Really?
No.
Like beware.
Not if you put a space. Not if you put a space.
No, be aware.
And there's an extra. There's an
cat.
E.
Like beware is like be aware of a scarier cat, right?
No, beware is like, dude, watch out for this cat.
No,
be aware of the cat is like don't run over the cat.
Either way, you have to be aware.
Get your Cooking with Dave sticker. Bestseller on Dibdit.com.
Lego is going to sue you, by the way, Dave. Lego is definitely going to sue you.
Is that a Lego? It's an alien, it's a robot, not a Lego
figure in a cooking hat.
No, it looks more like a robot.
It's Mega Blocks. Maybe it's Mega Blocks.
Cooking with Dave sticker, $5.99 free shipping, Dibdit.com. Go check it out.
I made 6 sales on Dibdit while I was gone.
Ooh, hot dog.
And we co-hosted. We did the first ever co-hosting with Carrie and Tim and Jimmy and Dan, man, we talk
Guys,
about Dan. Y'all,
listen.
we
Dan in
got to be
demand.
Dan in demand.
Dude.
Here's the real pitch, though. Okay, so if you have a Whatnot that you're like trying to get people into your Whatnot stream, and you get like 1 to 2 people and no one bids on anything, sign up for Dibdit, sell on Dibdit. You'll probably get 15 to 25 people in your stream, and you'll probably sell some stuff.
Yeah,
hey,
that's my pitch for Dibdit.
Don't forget,
that's my pitch.
Don't forget to tell them about how we get a cut of all the money they make.
Yeah,
we
Kevin specifically gets a massive cut from anything
Kevin gets
you
a
buy
lot
on
of
Dibdit.
that money personally.
Do not
and then
actually
he lets us look at it. Sometimes he'll send us like little pictures with how much is in his account.
Yeah,
and he says, "Look at me."
He's like, "Look at this is what they call 8 figures." Ooh,
8 figures.
Yeah,
people
believe
how much money would
get a 99-cent burrito at Taco Bell?
You
I
did
don't know
make
how I'm gonna eat.
$1.54 off of Dibdit today, Carrie. Just saying.
I know,
Can I ask you what is your sale of the week?
Yeah, I just told you. I
Carrie,
sold
Carrie.
Yeah.
What is Carrie's?
Wait a minute, I'm doing mine first.
You said you already told me.
Price. Well, I know, but I didn't explain it. It's a
okay.
Blanco decanter, and I bought it.
I know
Blanco.
The
lady was asking $1 at the 21 sale, and I bought it for $5. I gave her $5. I was nice, and it sold for $142.45 plus shipping.
That I got in trouble for leaving a Blanco at a yard sale once.
I almost did. I literally, I had already bought 3 pieces.
For a deuce?
What?
Like, did you poop at a yard sale? What are you talking about?
A Blanco?
I don't know if that's like
it's a brand of glass. It's a brand of glass.
First time I ever picked it up was in Minnesota.
And I think the one I found actually said Blanco on it. I don't know if it all does.
That's what I saw it. I'm like, that thing looks really cool, but it was a decanter, and I'm like, yeah, decanter, whatever. And I picked it up and it had a Blanco sticker on it, and she wanted $1. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And it happens to be that this particular kind is like way better. I was figuring it's worth $30, $50, something like that, but it was worth a lot more than that.
This was at the highway sale you got it?
It was at the Highway 21 sale.
Okay.
Yeah, and we cheated on the Highway 21, me and Death Pile. We went the day before the sale started, and we did really good.
So you and Mike cheated at the Highway 21? Is that what you just said?
Yep.
They cheated.
You're going to write that down.
Pay attention.
Not with each we didn't even, shout out Death Pile Picker. He had that night we were going to go stay in a hotel. Turner was with us. And Dave, stop. It's, and he got a phone call and his he didn't want this out there, but I'm already telling the story. So his father-in-law was going to pass, and so I took him immediately to the airport. We didn't even go back to the first day of the sale. So anyway.
Okay, so Carrie, did you figure out your good sale?
Dude, you're gonna like this sale. First off, I have like a lot of stuff on 50% off because we're moving very rapidly to Florida.
We need to start promoting the arbitrage fire sale.
Yeah, arbitrage fire sale on
eBay, Dibdit.com, and shopcommons.net. And you've already sold a box over there.
Just don't forget, if you buy something on Shop Commons, Kevin owns your soul. Just think about it.
He does, yes, he does. Kevin said he'll sell it back to me at double the price if I
do. We're selling like $1,000 a day lately over there. I'm just saying, we're making like 10.
Kevin gets $100. Kevin gets $100 every time.
I put discounted fees. I did it as cheap as I possibly could. What do you want me to do?
I want you to give me 1/3 of the profits from that.
We don't want to do any of the work, but we would like some money, please.
If you would have
Carrie,
got on
what's
the
your sale?
Train faster, and now we're all going to get there. Just like I said, it's getting there. It's starting to blow up on us.
Did you go get more of those today?
No, I need to.
Claptrap
go
popcorn
probably
bucket.
Monday or no, Wednesday is the next day we're going to go to a movie.
Probably sell out.
AMC pass. But this Claptrap was $25, right? This popcorn bucket.
It's a movie
popcorn
popcorn
from
bucket.
Borderlands. It's like a video game
Why is it called a Claptrap?
That's the name of that robot from Borderlands.
His name.
He's right up there.
Yeah, he's up there. Dave has one, not of the popcorn variety.
No, just
But anyway, $25, you get a popcorn bucket with it. So popcorn's worth like 10 or 15. And we got the popcorn in a separate bucket, and we sold this like immediately for $56 plus shipping. So we made like double our money. We got free popcorn, and it's cool. We're gonna try to get another one.
And you just felt like you were like a boss. You were bossing it. You were bossing
because like I always liked those, but when we hung out with you in January and you bought the burn book or whatever
and sold it like instantly,
and then now me and Don, every time we go, we have to buy a popcorn.
You get your free popcorn.
What it is. Sometimes they suck, and we still
sometimes. And I got the Twisters one. It's not really worth anything. Great movie.
Dude, why did they not do a tornado on fire?
I know.
Or just Glenn what's his name? Glenn Campbell or Glenn
He's dead.
Gary Ross or whatever his name is, the main guy
it's
in
none
that.
of those. It's why now
Glenn-
you're
Glengarry
making me
Glen
brain
Ross.
fart it.
Glenn,
Okay.
Whoever the
Glenn
lead
Ross.
is, he's a dreamboat. They should just do his
Glenn
face.
Powell.
with
Glenn
popcorn.
Powell.
Yeah, Glenn
He's
Powell.
got the name of an 86-year-old, by the way.
He
Glenn
does, Glenn
Powell.
Powell.
That is like
He's
Kevin's
He's like
best
somebody
friend.
that eats breakfast at the diner with Kevin every morning in Bedford.
You know what
Glenn
a claptrap is? You guys are claptraps. The use
Kevin
of the
is a
word
claptrap because he's got the clap and he's a
When
swinger.
you're
Yeah,
talking
Kevin, we
about
don't need to know about your backstory and history. But go ahead.
overblown nonsense. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Overblown
Well, he
nonsense.
is. Yeah,
And
he is.
back in your day, they called claptraps dewdroppers.
Do you know what's
now-
funny, Kevin, is now that you say that
Avoid the
character
clap.
kind of is the personality of that character in the video game.
Jimmy
so
Duke.
that I think they did that on purpose. So Carrie, your sale was a popcorn bucket. Mine was a
Yes.
Fluke multimeter. A Fluke multimeter.
Oh,
Sold it for
Fluke.
120.
Isn't that for fishing or something?
No, it's for electricians to
Oh yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
check
You know,
power and
for
stuff.
electricians
Yeah,
that fish.
It's a tool. It's a tool, but I overpaid for it. I think I paid $60. I mean, that's not bad. 60 into
And what did
120,
it sell
but it's
for?
not 127.
So after
it's not
fees
as
and
good
the
as I
time and the
wanted.
gas,
Yeah.
you lost money.
Ooh,
It's not
I
good.
take it back. I sold a pair of Red Wing boots for $149.95. That was my best. Hey, what's the worst? What's the worst? I found a Starbucks mug for
this is
California Starbucks mug, $8.99 plus shipping. The one we invented. Yeah, you got it.
This is the worst sale of the week, guys, and we have a sponsor for it this week, Sonic Drive-In. Thank you, Sonic,
Yep.
for
Sonic.
for our original
Make
idea
sure
for
that you
sponsoring us.
try out their new Sonic Tots.
Try out their
They
garlic
are-
bacon cheeseburger, guys. It's not going to give you
Well,
diarrhea.
the Sonic
this time.
Tots, 4 different options. Use the code Trash to Cash when you're at the drive-in, and you will save 10%.
That would be a
Just-
snipe punch.
Just scream Trash to Cash.
Just
what
yell it
happens.
at the person.
Record it.
No,
and then we'll
allegedly
share it
you'll
out.
save 10%. No,
Allegedly.
we are not
Look,
liable if you do
if you
not.
film yourself doing that, Kevin's going to pay for your meal, guaranteed.
If you don't get the 10% deal, then Kevin will, reimburse out of his
Kevin
pocket.
is fully available.
Okay, so my worst sale is Essential Defenders Volume 1. It's a comic book, like just a set of comic books. What is that called? An anthology type thing.
Sale, guys.
$13.58 plus ship, so 21 total. It's not that bad of a sale, but that's my worst one. What do you got, Carrie?
Dude, I mean, I sold a ton of $2-3 cards, but all together for like $100. But like here, I just sold a 1969 Jerry Kuzman Deckle Edge. That's a good old school card for $250 shipped.
Okay.
That's actually not the worst sale I've had, but that's the first one that popped up. So.
But no, forget about that stuff. Like, you were doing 50% off. So did you accidentally sell anything cheaper than you expected?
Stuff that was like over 10 or 20, so it wasn't as bad. Like I got a couple $5 sales, but we sold a lot
read
of
off
stuff,
some of those. I want to know some of your $5 sales.
Well,
because they're hard goods, right?
Also,
they're
actual we sold
hard
a lot
goods.
of things for $30-$40 that we had up for 80 that we paid less than $5 for. So we actually did good on a lot of it.
I'm promoting your eBay store right now because you're going to give us some $5 items and people will be like,
sold
dang.
a Jimmy Frog for
How much?
$37.50. It was half off. Today,
and so that's normally like $80. So someone got a deal.
Let me see one that was $5. Give me 1 second.
What's your discount right now?
50%. He said
50
on some stuff, on like 400 items. So I mean, we will.
And you're going to be selling stuff off on
way too much leg, Kevin. Way too much leg.
Wow,
Kevin, oh my gosh!
Put some shorts on.
Put it down,
Goodness
bro.
gracious,
are you wearing your panties?
Those are.
I used to teach sitting
Kevin
down
is
in my
very
classroom.
1970s. He has not changed a bit since the 70s.
Bumblebee tuna.
Straighter.
No, dude, you gotta rewatch that manscaping
Carrie,
video, Kevin.
In all
you need to brush
seriousness,
up.
though, you are doing a fire sale. You're going to be selling like crazy on Dibdit for the next couple of weeks, and Carrie really is moving, y'all. He's under.
Last day here in Vegas is the 31st of October. I got to get rid of almost all this stuff because
Kevin literally just broke like 7 pacemakers at the nursing home by showing that much leg.
Exactly.
There's like, oh,
there are dead people
who are not dead anymore
in old people home. All
over society.
The villages right now. There's probably a vacancy in one of the homes at the villages.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So November 1st, Carrie's coming down here. I'm trying to get him all motivated to look for like cool spots. Now I think he can get a spot easy peasy.
Dude, the thing is,
Florida, baby. You don't know about the Florida men. You're like a shining star compared to most applicants down here.
Here's the thing, like I called the place we talked about, and they were like really adamant. They wanted me to like apply to a specific house, right?
That's fine. Yeah.
Which it might be too early to do. I'm not sure.
Nah.
So if anybody's out there that's in the real estate world in Florida, hit me up. I could use a little bit of help. But then they said we have a general application you could fill out, and I clicked on their link, and it just took me to a list of houses.
Can't you just make space in the garage or the
I told him he can
unit?
stay with me. I told him he can stay with me for, you know, up to a month.
I'm
giving him up to a month to live with me. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. And then if he can't find a place in a month, I'll put him over at my mom's house for the next month. And then if that doesn't work, and go to my sister's house for a month, then my cousin's house for a month, then my other cousin's
Well, you got
for
a
month.
sponsor for your last 2 trips across country. You should get a American Arbitrage moving sponsor.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
We're gonna try. Honestly, we're gonna try to. We might have to buy a van, but we're gonna try to get as little amount of stuff with us as possible. Like we're gonna ship a lot of stuff over.
Yeah.
Shopcommons.net.
Month 6, Carrie will be with Rod. And then month 7, Rockstar. Month 8, Mike. Mike's at the end.
Tech is I think me and Tech are, I think he'll let me stay in the warehouse.
Cat.
I think Tech will let us stay in the warehouse.
Cat is month 10.
Philly Flipper.
Philly Flipper's month 11. You really put him low on the list.
Yeah, I'm coming back to Vegas at that point. if I've got to go stay with the Philly.
He's probably got the most room.
Yeah, sure. He's a bachelor, but no, his whole house. I watch his videos. His whole house is overtaken with reselling. He's like really let it encroach on the living areas. Not that Carrie hasn't, but
just trying to keep up with who he's dating is exhausting at this point.
Yeah. Anyways, Smiley Thrifter, in your opinion, what is the biggest mistake pickers and thrifters make? How can they change what they are doing to make it better? I think they buy everything. But they buy everything to like a fault. And I did this. I struggled with this, like buying everything, like just inhaling everything beyond what you have the capability of listing. So you have to be monitoring how much you have in your death pile. Otherwise, you get the Dave syndrome, which is like you have to take 3 months off just to try to catch up. And that's, it's not always even the best inventory.
One thing you learn as a reseller is there is so much stuff that you could resell. That you could, if you listed it and you dibbed it, or if you put it on Shop Commons, you could flip for a profit. It's just how much can you handle? What kind of infrastructure do you have? And what kind of energy do you have? Not everybody's like Kevin, just nonstop for just yelling at people from dawn until dusk. Just get it done. Get it done. Some people are much more.
Well, it's like, so for me, I'm struggling right now with my AV receivers, the Sony and Panasonic, all these AV receivers. They sell for like $30 a pop. You can get them for super cheap.
Worth it.
But they're a pain in the butt to ship. And so like I sell them, I make the profit.
VCRs if you're doing that? I mean,
I do.
They go for
I do
the
VCRs
same
too.
or more.
I do those
so
too.
much easier than receivers.
I do those too. You have to remember. These receivers,
like sunglasses. If you're selling that stuff, why?
These receivers, I got them all from that storage unit I drove down to. Remember that storage unit I drove down to and I filled my van?
Yeah. I know.
Donna.
I knew what you're talking about.
So I got it all at one place. But it's just like when they sell, I'm angry. I'm not excited that they sold. I'm annoyed. I'm like, oh, $28 and I got to ship that thing and I got to get a special Walmart box. I got to cut it all up.
I'd say it's the combination.
It's a pain.
If you're overbuying, if you have too much stuff and some of that stuff is low sell-through rate, low ASP, if you could just find a way to cut that stuff out of the process, then you're where you need to be. And
I think eventually and it's worse if you're recording because you want to be buying stuff for your videos. That is like a little hidden.
I did that. Matter of fact, there was a funny you mentioned that. There was you ever been to a sale and you like the people and it's good conversation and there's nothing to buy?
Yeah.
And so they had a little Mickey Mouse backpack sitting there and I'm like, I'll just pick this up and buy it. I brought it home and it was a Pottery Barn Mickey Mouse backpack. So it's for like $30. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, you can get lucky with your ridiculousness. Like I went to a sale. The lady was nice. The first sale I went to Saturday and there's just nothing. The day one Friday had a bunch, but Saturday had nothing. And so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll look at the plush. Like I was just avoiding the 4 bins of plush. I'm like, let me go look at them. And I go in there and of course I find a big $40, $50 jelly cat.
There we go.
And I'm like, all right, so I guess it's not that bad that I looked through it.
Jelly cats, by the way.
That was Folk Manus. Folk Manus is what he taught us about.
That's right.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, sometimes it benefits you.
At the 127, we found like a little Disney family, a little couple that had lounge flies and stuff. I got a Mr. Potato Head lounge fly. It's like worth 80 or 90, and I paid 50 because I just thought it was so freaking cool. I was like,
that is the problem with lounge
but
flies.
we
I
got like
overpay for
another
them all
one
the
that was like a
time.
Minnie Mouse one for 10 that was like worth 30 or 40. So overall we did good if we cost averaged, but our cost average would be much lower if we didn't buy that super cool Mr. Potato Head. But sometimes you buy stuff because it's cool. You just want to
I see it.
you
Yeah,
want
I
to have
looked
it
it
in
up.
your
That
life
is
for a
cool.
moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw, getting back to the 127, like there's, Jimmy picks his stuff, Tim picks his stuff, all
Steve
these
picks
pickers,
your
and
stuff.
very few people. Steve, yeah, right. Hey, speaking of, Death Pile is not my rod anymore. He's Rod's rod, is what he is.
Really?
Yeah, he's out, and he shows me a picture. He sends me the picture of that purple ab roller. I'm like, dude, Mike, pick that up for me. He's like, I ain't picking that up. He was with Rod
Well,
that day.
Rod
He's
needs
like,
a
oh,
rod too,
forget
though.
you.
Rod can't go around
Yeah,
rodless.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Didn't even pick it up
Valid
for me.
point.
Jeez.
What a jerk.
My days of using Mike are
I know, man.
over.
Is
Sad.
that bother you
He's
when you
gotten
put
too
so much
big.
time
He
and
put
effort
out a
into using
video.
somebody and then they just go away to be used by
I
someone
know.
else? It's gotta hurt.
That's all right. He's still all right.
He's still an all right person. No, I think that that's one of the big mistakes is people overbuy a little bit. And I'm also intrigued to see what happens with Tina's makeup store.
Yes.
Tina has now launched an eBay makeup store. If you
I'm
guys
curious
want,
too.
I could put the link in this, but
I have a weird
she sold 3 things.
I have a weird
She sold 3
intuition that the
things.
logo was done by AI. It feels
Oh,
AI.
totally. The name was done by. I literally said, she's like, well, I
every
don't care what
logo
it's
I've ever
called.
seen from Dave.
She's like, I don't care what it's called. I'm like, AI, give me 10 names for a cosmetics themed store. She picked one. I said, now make a logo. It was a 5-minute process, and it was fine. It's going to be fine. It's called Radiant Riches.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you can be radiant and save money.
I think she's going to do good, especially with your knowledge behind her.
Yeah. I've been helping her out with it. And so far so good. 3 sales. Now I just announced it on my Instagram, so we might get some viewer
makeup
sales.
Is
if you guys want to support her, she sells stuff pretty cheap. She even has $10 items, and she needs feedback. She sells 0 feedback. So if someone wants to throw her just a $10 buy and then give her a positive feedback, it would definitely help her out.
She could buy something from you and get feedback.
Yeah, all I'm saying is buy one less thing from Kevin this week, guys. One less thing from Kevin. Go over to Tina's.
Kevin doesn't even need it
and give her some
set
feedback
for life at this point.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
she's
it was
excited,
a fairly cheap 127 because everybody made food. All right, go ahead, finish your story about it.
Well, I was just gonna say, you're trying niche down, and I'm gonna be really intrigued to see how niche down only goes because I feel like it's gonna be easier. But there's a lot of sales she goes to with me where she buys nothing.
Well, I'm telling you, I saw some people who were niche down, and they were posting pictures of stuff. One guy just does cast iron. He just found mountains of cast iron at 127. Uncle Steve is niche down basically to golf, and he filled the car up with golf clubs.
Yeah.
About niching down, you tend to go to the places or look for the stuff that you're looking for. So I'm niched down to cards. There's card shows. Makeup, you'll look for those garage sales specifically. You could even go to a thing like ASD in Vegas. You could start getting into wholesale. You could get into a lot of things with makeup if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
You could sell Mary Kay.
She made me go to one.
Worked for everybody I know, and you ended up with a pink Cadillac.
Oh yeah, they're all rich. They all are rich with pink Cadillacs. Well, she took me to a sale on Saturday that I wasn't planning on going to. She's like, no, we need to go to this one. The picture showed makeup. And we went, and she paid $40 and got $180 worth of makeup. And I was like, all right, cool. I wouldn't have bought any of that. But I bought my Left Behind books there, so I don't know. I might do good there too.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of when I was at 127, I could have spent $8 and made all the money back for the whole trip that I took just with gold and silver. I didn't. Wow. I spent far more than that. I spent technically the gold and silver I bought paid for everything I bought, and I filled the car up. So that's pretty good. So I'm telling you, and I don't even niche down, but I could certainly see people who are niche down doing really, really, really well.
How is the general vibe? You watch a lot of reselling content on eBay right now, Kevin. Are we in a slow period, a hot moment? How's eBay doing?
Are you trying to get
I've been
thumbnail?
Disconnected.
Are you trying to get a title for this
I've been
episode?
Disconnected. No. It's going to be called the train pooping incident.
It's very mixed, and I'd say mixed leaning toward bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the
I got less sales than I expected, which is why I was asking, because I came home to less sales than I expected.
The Profit Playbook podcast tells me it's leaning to bad.
Krylov is not only in total control, but it's starting to turn evil. Krylov is starting to play with our emotions, and occasionally turn on the the water and turn it back off. And apparently the only thing that's really selling consistently are CDs and hats. That's the only thing. If you want consistent sales, you got to have 25,000 of them listed at least minimum.
I didn't sell one hat while I was gone, and not one CD, but I don't sell CDs.
I
will say, Dave, and this is back to your days of selling lots of DVDs before you realized that where you lived in North Carolina was abundant with all kinds of other stuff. I saw a lot of pickers that we were out with that stayed with us that were buying DVDs and doing good. Rod buys DVDs. Joe buys DVDs. I saw a Cincinnati picker buy DVDs. I don't even look at DVDs. If I find a DVD to sell, it's just pure dumb luck.
Yeah.
I used to be heavy into DVDs, but the market's more technical, more. What do you think of IGS shutting down for grading, by the way, for VHS? You hear about that?
I did hear about that. IGS is shut down indefinitely or until the foreseeable future.
What a bunch of actors on this podcast. Carrie sent this news to Kevin 4 days ago, and Kevin made fun of him because it was old news. And then Carrie's just like, hey, have you heard this news?
Kevin's like, yeah, I did hear that news. I forgot I sent it.
I didn't. It wasn't that old news. I was trying to tease Carrie. Rod had sent it to me.
Yeah, but you saw Kevin just pretend like he was like, "Oh yeah, this is exciting,
Kevin's
Carrie. You're really bringing something to the table."
Anything. He's a showman. He's a showman.
He's a showman. He's a fake fraud.
Yeah, he's like
fraud.
Yeah.
Boo.
Rod sent me that about 10 days ago. So I was trying to tell Carrie. I was trying to be funny. Apparently it didn't work. That was old news because Rod had already sent it to me.
Carrie called me crying
a few days ago.
He called me crying.
So it was not funny. It was
or Reagan made him call me. I don't know.
I was gonna say, have you been calling each other lately? Unknowingly?
No, but we did talk in the secret podcast how
have we
talked
on the
felony in Florida what she did
podcast about Kevin breaking international laws, phone laws, right?
I specifically told them. My wife she gets a little. She's like, oh no, we're doing it. She's like, who could we get to call each other that would literally think that they called each other without? And they tried a bunch of people, and she's like, Dave and Carrie, they would automatically just start talking. And they did.
Yeah. And we did. And we really entertained them.
I'm so glad we didn't
really entertained
any rabbit hole there. So that was good.
Beware out there, y'all. Make sure.
Be aware. Be aware, everyone. Same exact thing.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I can't. This is why I was a bad student. I could not just sit in a stupid chair.
That's the hemorrhoids. But Picketing Punchin actually commented on the Patreon. He said, since Dave hasn't sourced in 2 months and has officially become a cooking daddy, Kevin has always been a fake reseller. Does this mean the guy who sells $1 cards on eBay is the only true reseller?
I am the chosen one. I'm Daniel's son. Okay, I'm the Karate Kid of reselling. Okay. Kevin's obviously the blonde guy that's evil, and then Dave, you're the one with the mo.
I want to be Mr. Miyagi. I want to be Mr. Miyagi. I'm training you.
You
Carrie.
are Mr. Miyagi, yeah.
Wax on, wax off, and then if you just do this a lot, you'll save a yard sales.
That's why exactly.
Okay, so I picked Rod.
Lately?
I went picking Rod. No one's watching.
I don't know anybody who watches Rod's
videos. He stopped talking to me for like 2 weeks. I thought he must hate me or something.
He was trying to be nice, like me.
He's just trying to be
I felt so weird not talking to Dave for 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie. It was starting to feel like
I wanted you to all like. My main goal was that you'd all be like, I kind of miss Dave. Like, you know, if Dave was dead,
everybody
I'd be a
missed
sad.
Dave.
Yeah, that's good.
Everybody missed Dave.
They miss the guy who goes to bed early because he ate too much dairy and doesn't want to fart. In front
exactly.
Of everyone.
Jimmy.
I missed Jimmy going into the bathroom and going, Dave was definitely here.
Dave, that splatter there, that's Dave.
Oh,
is that a dirty pair of underwear on the ground?
That
that's
was a
Dave.
problem at the Airbnb. There was 2 bathrooms. That was a problem.
Well, that was a question too. What type of air freshener worked to keep the Airbnb bathroom tolerable at the 127? Says Biggs Collectibles.
I don't know.
Did you find something?
We did. No, I don't think we did.
A bunch of
we did Dan in demand. Saved the day with extra toilet paper. 2-ply.
Yes.
He brought his own toilet and we ran out. Dan brought everything.
Everybody brought
prepared
for everything.
Apparently. We did need cooking with Dave because Jimmy literally almost burnt the entire place down.
People were cooking. What were they cooking for you?
Yeah, they made the chicken tacos.
Yeah.
Sonia
Kevin got us
Jimmy
this nice
place
right next to an abandoned haunted sawmill. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was an old distillery, and it was a nice place.
It was super nice.
Mm.
But there was a lot of ghosts. Is what I'm saying. I'm grateful. First off,
did Carrie not give you money? Let's dig into that.
Carrie,
we pulled up and Don was like, "Murder Airbnb 2." That's what immediately I heard from.
Yeah, that was a big thanks from Dawn. She's like, "Murder Airbnb again. Thanks a lot." I'm like, "What are you talking about? This place is awesome."
Dawn is scared of anything that's remotely country. Anything that's out in the sticks, Dawn is frightened of. We could be we could be in downtown San Francisco, no fear.
Make sure you don't find a rental in Palatka, Florida, Carrie. She will be terrified.
You didn't see Tim making dinner. You didn't see Carrie making dinner.
I offered.
Shocking.
Nobody made it. John made dinner, Cincinnati Picker.
He did.
What did he make?
Jimmy
Cincinnati
made
chili?
Burgers. He brought chili for everybody. He brought a gift basket for everybody.
What a gentleman.
Jimmy made dinner. Joe made dinner. Dan made dinner. It's awesome.
I would have definitely made you a dinner. I definitely would have made you a dinner. But for me, like,
in my defense,
I will say for me,
you
when
guys
I'm traveling,
want me to make dinner? Do you realize what
that would
have been?
But nobody asked. I would have liked you to wash the dishes. That would have been nice.
We should try this. I mean, I would say, like, normally when I'm traveling, I like eating out. Like, it's fun for me. But I guess we could do the eating in thing. I don't know.
Dan made dinner and then did the dishes. Carrie just sat there. It was good.
I was making sure everybody was happy and not. No,
Tim,
listen to this. Me, I walked up and I'm like, "You want me to help?" And then you guys like, "No." And then I didn't supplicate. I walked off. I didn't try to beg.
How many times did Carrie truly disappoint you, Kevin?
Not bad.
Carrie, how many times? Wait, before you answer, Carrie, how many times do you feel like you probably disappointed Kevin?
No, I feel we had a good vibe. I don't know.
Fun.
I thought we had a good time. I don't think anybody.
I'm just more talking about your people pleasing nature, and you'll be like,
I didn't really make us late to anything. I wasn't running late. Really,
that's good.
So I think the things that
you felt like you did pretty good. All right, that's good.
Disappointing. And I recall once trying to pick you up for yard selling, Dave, and you weren't even ready. So just for the record.
I was so ready. I had already finished yard sailing. And I was like, oh, he wants to go again.
Listen, Tim had all of his stuff in drafts or listed before he left the Airbnb. All of it.
That's cool.
Kevin.
He did also take up the entire dining room area.
He did.
And dominated it. We had to eat at the bar.
Tim worked the whole time like Kevin was just blitzed, dude. I've never seen a more drunk human being in my life than Kevin. The whole trip.
That's interesting. That should be your next merch, Kevin. Kevin, the Commonwealth.
Well, you had to have a little bourbon while you're in Kentucky. I had a little bit, but I mean, the bottle barely went down. I think we only did one bottle between all of us. That wasn't much.
Nice.
I ended up stopping publishing my drafts because with the store turned off, it just didn't feel worth it. It wasn't really helping me sell more. So I just said, I'm going to hold them. And I still have 60 left.
Yeah, I did very little
listing. Them now.
Very little listing while I was gone. But the store turned back on and it's rolling now. So I'm happy.
I just don't think it's worth it. If you're going to do the draft bank to try to keep your store active, but you're also on vacation for 2 weeks in vacation mode, I don't think it makes sense to waste the drafts. Just hold on to them. I don't know. Comment down below if you disagree. And also tell us what you think about Kevin's nose right now.
Exactly.
It's different. Hey, when are you going to finish your tattoo, Kev?
Apparently, very soon, because that's the birthday wish of one of our friends that we all get more tattoos. And I'm like,
man, you gotta.
Okay.
That's a pretty big ask. Yeah, can you please permanently mark your body for me?
Well, but
you gotta find.
She's in cahoots with my wife, so it's like
you gotta find swingers that are not.
And she's gotta.
You gotta find less demanding.
Yeah, and that's Carrie. That's the thing. But they have to look at his body all day, and they're like, Kevin, you gotta get the cover-up tattoo on that nipple.
When we went to Vegas and we did that, we did the Vegas meetup. Not us. Actually, it wasn't that when we were all there. It was the next time when I went. They went with us, and they all came back with a tattoo except for me. So now I feel like maybe I might do something. I don't know.
Well, Superhero Headquarters said, when sending offers to customers on eBay, what percentage discount do you offer and why?
That's a great question.
I usually do 7 or 10% based on how I'm feeling. I don't know.
I do 20%.
I don't know rhyme or reason to it.
Honestly.
If it's
20%?
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to sell stuff, Dave. I don't.
You remember?
I sell a lot with my 7 and 10%.
Dawn has 50% return built into the shipping, so she's built it into the shipping.
Dude, I don't understand that. I'm sorry, but Kevin and Dawn, I don't get it. They're bragging about the extra money they charge on shipping.
No.
Okay,
you don't.
So hold on. You sell $100 AirPod and you charge $100 for the shipping. You get $200. If you listed it for $199 free shipping, you're getting the same amount of money. It's all about what the market value is of the item.
No, but Dawn always charges more than the market value. That's what always blows my mind. Like she'll sell it at what like the market value is, and then just add the shipping, and she gets it a lot.
I do flat rate shipping. It's very reasonable. I do not overcharge for shipping. That's not.
Well, you said only the viewers pay extra for shipping.
That's bull.
Little people. I think the exact words were.
Yeah. Plebeians?
Plebeians, yes, plebe. He gets very Greek. He's like an emperor when he talks about his followers.
That's Roman. That's Roman.
They're the same thing. Romans, Greeks, they're the same thing.
Subjugates?
Patricians and that's Roman.
Look, this 300. I seen 300, okay? They were all buff. They were all super hot.
That's Spartans.
Everyone was hot back then.
Yeah. Okay, so what happened? Look at us. We've disappointed.
So that's interesting, Carrie. That's interesting. So you're saying she could list some MCM item for $50 plus 50 shipping, and everyone else has it listed for 50 plus. I'm just saying. But everyone else has 50 plus calculated, and she's still getting the extra shipping, even though the calculated is way cheaper.
I am the king of still to this day, and I have a little bit of clout in a couple communities reselling in cards where I might be able to possibly get mid-range value for cards. I still am always at the bottom because I want the stuff to sell. And Dawn isn't like that. She'll sell it maybe in the middle or at the bottom, but then she'll add shipping that I would never charge because I want the item to sell, and she'll oftentimes sell it. I don't know why. I don't get it.
I want to know in the comments, guys, have you tried this? Can you try it? Go to your store, pick a few items, increase the shipping price. Let's just see if they sell over market value. I'm curious if it's working for Dawn. Maybe I need to do it.
I don't advocate for that, by the way. And my answer to the question, which I never got to, is I only send out, if it's something that's been listed in the last month, I only send out a 5% offer. If it's something that's been around for months, I'll send out 10.
There's
that's it.
What is the built-in tax, the Commonwealth tax? Is your stuff 50, 100, 200%
there is no
over what the normal market is typically?
I price mid to high market and send out offers.
Kevin, do you think that you'll ever do the history channel on YouTube? Like Harry's golf channel?
No, but my channel that came out yesterday my video came out yesterday.
Channel that came out yesterday?
My video that came out yesterday, I talk about a little bit of history.
Yeah, but those people don't want to hear about that. But if you could get people who did,
that's why I give them a little.
But you could just go on and
do on and on.
No, I would get my view of history and my view that would tick off a lot of my other viewers. Because I don't see history the way a lot of people do.
What if you wore that November 5th mask so they couldn't see your face? Yeah. Remember the 5th of November? Is it 5th or 12th? Yeah. I don't know. You wear that, then they won't know it's Commonwealth Picker. Yeah. It could be a nameless, faceless
or an octopus suit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could be like the octopus picker down in Australia.